Now at month 7 we get to finally start putting all these compass blocks together, and it's a lot of fun. You can arrange them around the center, play around with them a little bit. If you have a design wall like this one, it works perfect. I love it. It's portable. You can move it around. We do have them on our website, and you just put it up when you need it. So here's a piece, and you just keep working your way around. And I already pre-sorted a little bit to try to get some of these that were similar, sort of separated from each other. Alright, so then you may want to look at them and go, so I see something right away that I might like to change. I've got these centers, there's 3 of them right next to each other, those centers, and these 2 blocks are a little bit similar, but this has the different center because I've got 3 of these centers. So I'm going to move it around this way. Alright, so I think I like that a little better, but just play with them here and there, move them around until you're ready to go. And I'm going to separate a couple of these top ones so I can show you the order in which you're sewing. It's very well explained in the pattern, and you can read that carefully, but it also might help to cement it in your head if you realize, how we're doing it here in the video. It's going to be easiest for you if you work from the diagram and follow it exactly, and if you have your pieces oriented just the way in terms of where the points go and all exactly as this diagram. And what you're basically doing is sewing ahead of yourself, working clockwise around the diagram. So the very first seam you're going to do is this one right here, which is called a number 1 seam. Then after you've sewn that one, you're going to sew this seam, which is also a number 1. And by sewing that and this, you now can go along here with one straight seam up, pivot, and sew that miter. So this seam is in, along here and up here. Now we've already sewn one number 1. We need to sew this number 1 again before we can get this one pivoted in down here and up. And you just keep working your way around the circle until you get them all in. Don't worry about these little things flapping out the sides. Those are going to come later in a partial seam in the next month. This can get a little confusing, but if you follow the diagram, it's an excellent diagram, and follow what I'm telling you, you'll be able to get these pieces sewn together. And it's mostly straight line sewing yet again. The important thing here is, again, that you always pay attention to the dots at all the intersections. You must match the dots for this to all come together properly. And if you do that, you're going to be just fine. So the first thing you do, you're going to look at the diagram. It says to start with this top block at the top and sew the seam marked number 1 right down there, which is this seam right here. Then we sew another number 1, which is this one here. Because what's happening, you're always sewing ahead of yourself. You're always sewing ahead of yourself before you can get this piece sewn in. So once we've sewn this 2 and 3, and this has already been sewn, we go and sew this number 1 block. Now we're able to go to this block, backtrack, and sew this seam, number 2 and number 3. And you keep working your way around there, always doing the 1 of the next block before you can do the 2 and 3 of the previous block. So you got your work cut out for you today. Lots of things to do, lots of sewing to do over the next month, but it's all coming together now, and I hope you're enjoying it and are appreciating the beauty of how all these fabrics come together.